Welcome to Parenting Successful Teens, the podcast that cuts through the overwhelm and stress of this phase and offers parents simple, practical, cognitive, science-based strategies for keeping their teens on track. Join Master Coach and real-life mom, Allie to talk about real teens, real problems, and the skills it takes to raise successful adults.
All right, everyone. I am so excited this week because we're doing our first ever listener Q&A. And I got so many great questions. I had such a good time looking through them and trying to come up with a question that really answered several people's questions. And I got a really good one. So I want you to listen. This one is about overspending, but really any of the overs over video gaming, over Netflixing, over Instagramming, over sleeping, any of the overs, it's really a similar solution. And so I want you to be listening and thinking about how you can apply this to whatever's going on in your own house. So here we go. Dear Allie, thank you so much for your podcast. I listen every week during my commute and am even starting to hear your voice in my head. Sorry about that. So I'm wondering your thoughts on a difficult situation that's going on with my college sophomore daughter. She keeps asking us for money, even though I've made it clear that her spending money is her responsibility. Little background here, my husband and I went through a difficult divorce a couple of years ago, and I'm on a tight budget. Together, her dad and I managed to pay for tuition, rent, phone, and give her an allowance to cover food. But she's always running out of money and complaining that she can't buy groceries and that she's hungry. We tried a variety of different tactics, but she's still constantly overdrafting her account and asking us to cover her. She's had a difficult year adjusting to her roommates, drama with a friend, keeping up with homework. She's a baby of the family, and I know the divorce was difficult for her. So when she calls in tears to ask me for money, I have a hard time saying no. I just can't stand to see her struggle. How do I get my daughter to understand the value of money? How do I get her to spend her money more carefully and stop asking me for more than I can give? Hope you can help. Jennifer B. So thank you, Jennifer, for your excellent question. I want to say that this is a really common question. And as I said, I picked it because it's similar to a couple of the other questions that I got. The first step, the first thing that I want to recommend is that we can't solve what we don't understand. And most of the time when we have an ongoing problem like this, one that keeps repeating itself, no matter what we try, the reason is because we haven't solved the root cause where we can end the symptoms. Okay, we're coming up with solutions for symptoms rather than the root cause. So as soon as we address one symptom, another symptom pops up. And you can see that here. Jennifer thinks that they just need to find the right system. She's asking me to suggest a budgeting system. Like if she gets the right financial plan in place, that everything will be fine. But I doubt that that's the case because they've already tried different systems and the problem persists. So the system itself is a symptom, not the root cause. And then the next thing that Jennifer mentions is that she wishes she had more money so that she didn't have to say no. But you can probably already guess that having more money wouldn't address the real problem, right? Money is just another symptom. I'm laughing because I have college students and there really is no amount of money that, like whatever you think you've got tuition and room and board covered, and then there's semester abroad opportunities, and there's, spring break service trip opportunities, and there's sororities and fraternities, and there's just no end to the amount of things that you can spend money on. And so really having more money isn't the solution. And for clues to the solution, I want you to notice how often Jennifer mentioned difficult, how often she used that specific word. She talked about messy divorce, difficult classes, difficult roommates. I think in this short email, I think I counted that she used it 4 or 5 times. And what that tells me is that Jennifer is believing that the problem is the difficult circumstances. Like, if her daughter wasn't in difficult circumstances, then the daughter wouldn't be spending so much money. And if her daughter wasn't having such a difficult time, it would be easier for the mom to say no. And I think that that's where the email gets really interesting, is because our kids' struggles mirror our own struggles. And what I mean by that is the mom is having a difficult time telling her daughter no because she believes that her daughter is having a difficult time, and that's what's making it hard to live within a budget. So the mom believes the daughter can't say no to overspending, so the mom believes that she can't say no to her daughter. The mom's struggle mirrors the daughter's struggle. And in order to solve her daughter's problem, the overspending, the mom has to first solve her own problem, which is over allowing. Does that make sense? The daughter's overspending problem is mirroring the mom's over allowing problem. And again, this is so common. We try to solve the kid's problem, and that almost never works when we start there, because their problem is mirroring our problem. And we have so much more control over our actions than we do over our teenagers' actions. So if you're trying to change that mirroring effect, you almost always have a much easier time changing your own actions first. Okay? So until the mom gets the over allowing piece under control, no budgeting system can work. Because the minute that the daughter wants something that's not in the budget, the minute that it gets hard, and it will get hard to stay on budget, right? Because the daughter has the habit of overspending. And of course she does, because it works. All she has to do is call her mom and tell her mom that she's hungry, and her mom gives her more money. So of course she's going to keep doing it. So when the mom breaks her own habit of over allowing, like until the mom does that, nothing's going to change. The tricky piece here is we moms already know that, right? Like we already know that we should be saying no, but we can't. We don't have the willpower to say no while we're believing that these difficult circumstances are causing the problem. Like as long as we believe that the difficult roommate or is causing your daughter to go out to eat so much, or the difficult classes mean that she's studying late in coffee shops. Like until you stop believing that those difficult circumstances are the cause, then it's going to take more willpower than any mom has to say no and not want to help. And in so many ways, our kids know this, right? They know to ask us for things when our willpower is weak. Like they ask us for things late at night, or when we're tired or we're not paying attention, or we're so much more likely to say, okay, fine. Just because we don't have it in us to debate the situation. We don't have it in us to problem solve. And so we just say yes. Okay. So willpower is not the way to go, because if that willpower is coming into conflict with your beliefs about what a good mom does, or about what your daughter is able to do, your beliefs are going to win every time. So the trick is to find the beliefs that are causing the mom to say yes, okay? Causing the mom to go against her own budget and over allow. And maybe that belief is that good moms don't let their daughters struggle, which is really a version of you're only as happy as your least happy child. That old saying that I hate so much, because if you believe that, then of course you're going to get over involved in fixing your children's struggles. Because if you can only be happy when your least happy child is happy, that's a pretty small subset of time. And so it's very motivating for parents to make their kids be happy so that parents can be happy. Another belief she might have is that life would be better for her daughter if she had unlimited money to give her. Maybe there is some remaining guilt about the divorce or about the change in financial circumstances after the divorce. So that guilt is leading her to believe that money is the problem and that if she had more money, this wouldn't be a problem. Or maybe she believes that if she had taught her daughter budgeting properly, that this wouldn't be a problem. A lot of moms believe that their kids are having a problem because the mom didn't teach them something that they needed to know, or taught it in the wrong way, or taught them the wrong thing. And I don't know what the actual thought is. If I had Jennifer on the phone right now, like that thought would be what we would be trying to figure out, because that thought is what's making it hard for her to say no to her daughter. And until she knows what that thought is, like that thought is going to have power. It's kind of like running in her subconscious. But even though it's in her subconscious, like it's making her say yes. And once she knows what that thought is, then she will have so much more control over her actions. Because once she's brought that thought out of her subconscious into her conscious mind, then she can choose to think different thoughts. Thoughts like, my daughter's a smart girl. She's going to get a handle on this. She can handle difficult classes. She took difficult classes in high school. She'll figure it out. She could believe that learning to live with a roommate is a life skill. Learning to get along with challenging people is just part of life. Or she could believe, my daughter has everything that she needs. Like my ex and I have provided her everything that she needs. And again, if this was a coaching session, we would be coming up with the specific thought that feels in Jennifer's mind, it feels true and it feels better than the thought that's making her over allow. Because once she's figured out what that thought is that's causing her to over allow, causing the mom to overspend, then she can change that thought to something that's more empowering for her daughter. And when she does that, she won't need willpower because she'll have that thought that makes it easy. Like you don't have to have willpower to say no if you really believe that your daughter has everything that she needs. Because in a way, if you think about it, when she's feeling bad for her daughter and giving her more money, in a way, she's agreeing with her daughter that she can't handle these classes and these roommates without overspending. And when you look at it that way, Jennifer's disempowering her daughter by tacitly agreeing with her. And of course, she's not doing this on purpose. Like no mom is thinking this on purpose, but tacitly, that's what's happening when you agree with someone in a habit that's hurting them. Okay. And she'll be in a lot better position to support her daughter and help her daughter see what's going on for her and help her daughter come up with a budgeting system that works when she's not tacitly saying, I don't think you can handle this. And again, I say like Jennifer's definitely not saying that on purpose. But that's the message you send when you continue to bail your kids out over and over and over for the same situation. If Jennifer gets one of those crying phone calls and she's asking for more money and Jennifer is believing that her daughter has what she needs and holding that calm space for her daughter to figure things out for herself and supporting her daughter while she's figuring it out, supporting her daughter while she's feeling fearful, that is so much more powerful for our kids than the money. Okay? What our kids need more than money is parents that believe that they can solve their own problems. Parents that believe that they can handle their life. Parents that have transitioned. When kids are younger, we're in charge. And then as they go through the high school years, we become more of like a coach. And then as they move into the college years, we become more of like a cheerleader. And kind of consistent in that thread is us telling them, you've got this. You can do this. I've got you. I believe in you. We're going to figure this out. But we can't play that role. We can't sit with our kids while they're struggling and help them figure out their struggles until we learn to manage our own. Like we can't give them what we don't have. Again, to recap, as long as a mom believes that the daughter is spending because she's in a difficult situation, that situation is going to be in charge. Okay, the spending won't change until the situation does. And we can't change the situation. Okay. She's not going to be able to change how hard the class is. I guess she could change her major, but that's not what we're talking about here. Okay. We want the mom to believe that the daughter can self-regulate in any situation. And as long as the mom believes that, then she will be able to handle the pain, the real pain of watching your child struggle and watching your child figure it out. Okay, the mom will be able to handle that when she believes her daughter can handle these situations. I just think that's so exciting because once Jennifer gets there, then it's going to be easy to create a system that works and helps her daughter budget in a way that promotes the daughter's independence, that promotes the daughter's growth and development, and promotes the daughter becoming an adult that can manage her money. Like you look at the credit crisis in America, and we need more adults that can manage their money, that can live on a budget. Like that's a real gift. And learning how to self-regulate is a real gift because if you're overspending, there's probably other areas. Like even if you were able to come up with a budgeting system that put a tight clamp on the overspending, if you haven't addressed the self-regulation problem, it's just going to come out in some other area. So many people that get their drinking under control, then they develop a shopping problem. Okay, because the problem was the overing, not the thing that they were overing. Okay, it wasn't the Netflix or the overspending. It's that inability to self-regulate. So once the mom is able to self-regulate and manage her thoughts around her daughter struggling, then the daughters will be mirroring that, will be mirroring the mom's belief in her. And in that way, like you can use that same tendency we have to mirror with other people in our lives for good. And once you do that, like I said, then the implementation of a budget system is pretty straightforward. So, Jennifer, what I want you to do is focus on believing that your daughter's circumstances aren't the cause of her problems. Her ability to self-regulate is the cause. Okay? And her ability to self-regulate is right now mirroring your ability to self-regulate. If you want to change your daughter's, then you have to be willing to change yours first. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is I would love you to see that this is an opportunity, not a problem. Because having a college student that still needs to learn to self-regulate isn't like, that's just part of this age. That's just part of their natural development. And so this budgeting problem is really an opportunity to learn a lifelong skill. And that skill, once she's learned it, like she'll have it her whole adult life. And I say this so often with my clients when they bring me whatever thing is happening, I'm laughing because I'm the same way. Like I fall into that trap too. Like my kids call me and they're upset about something and then I get upset about it. And I have to put myself through this same process and remind myself that this isn't a problem. It's an opportunity to learn a new skill. And it's exactly what's supposed to be happening during these teen years. So that's number 2. Number 3 is you can support your daughter while she develops new habits. And you being willing to stick with your daughter and tell her she's got this and she can do this, like that's the biggest gift that you can give her. That gift is more important than the money that you're sending her. Okay, teaching her that her mom has her back and that her mom believes in her and that she can do this will help her develop that belief in herself. And that's the ultimate gift. So thank you so much, Jennifer B., for writing in. I hope this was helpful. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions you have if this was unclear in any way. And for all of you, the same offer goes. If you have any questions about this week's episode, or if you want some help in seeing how to apply it in your own situation, just send me an email at Allie@allieirwin.com, or you can always contact me through my website, allieirwin.com. Have a great week. Thanks for listening to Parenting Successful Teens. If you enjoyed today's show, then I've got a treat for you. I have a free guide that teaches you how to get your teenagers to tell you about their day. No more one-word answers. And grabbing this guide is super easy. Just text the phrase, Get Teens Talking, as all one word, no spaces, to the number 44222. So that's the phrase, Get Teens Talking, without any spaces, to the number 44222. And then you'll be prompted to give the email address that you want the guide sent to, and then it shows up in your email box just like magic. You know what else is magic? Having teenagers that talk to you. Now, I can't promise that you're going to like everything they have to say, but I can promise better conversations. Grab the guide, and I'll talk to you next week.